I'm Trish with today's QOTD Question of the Day. Record your answer and join us in the show. Today's question is for all of you who woulda, coulda, shoulda. Tell us a skill you wish you'd learned when you were younger. Do you regret skipping football practice? Or are you sad that you never learned to read music? What youthful skills did you fail to develop? Our first fan who'd be better back in time is Maddie.
I can, somewhat speak Spanish now, but I really wish I would have learned it when I was like 5, just learning to talk. I don't know when you learn to talk. So I was like totally fluent now. That'd be so cool.
Well, I'm not sure how it is in Jersey schools, but in New York, typically we don't start until you're much older and into your teens. But you can do, you can learn a lot faster the younger that you are.
We did have Spanish lessons in elementary school, I remember. And then by the time you got to middle school, you could switch over to another language. So I ended up taking French. But by that time, when you're like 11, 12 years old, you probably should just build on what little you already know if you ever want to get any level of expertise.
And actually, one of my friends from college talked about how they went to a primarily Spanish speaking elementary school for that purpose of teaching kids another language. And so fluent in Spanish too, in addition to English, which is I guess that's what you have to do. You just have to go to that environment and sort of dive in on the deep end.
Well, did you have a different fan answer that you liked, JJ?
I did. So I found a very relatable answer from Brianna.
I wish I would have taken Lego play seriously, even Barbie houses. I wish that I would have gotten into architecture because this housing market is crazy. So it seems like I have to build my own house. And maybe I can learn through YouTube how to build a tiny house.
As a Lego kid, I totally empathize with this. I loved building stuff, and I wish I had continued that because I see all of those little home videos on YouTube where they made an RV or a trailer into a perfect, fully functioning home.
Yeah, likewise, I think I wish I would have taken things like shop more seriously. I was like, I'm not going to build a house. I'm never going to, have a wood shop. But I'll tell you what, once you own your own home, those were some skills I really wish I had paid more attention to, just so that I could fix small things, or I could even do crafty type things that are a little more accelerated.
It's a little embarrassing being almost 23 years old and trying to figure out how to hold a drill properly, but thank God we have the internet.
Well, this is normally the part in the show where we would have Keith talk about his answer, but unfortunately, we've talked on the show before about how his house has ghosts, and unfortunately, he's now having to perform an exorcism on his home, so he's a little busy at the moment. But he has told us that we can go through his answer in his absence. So Keith's answer is from a Smiley, and prepare to be serenaded.
Wish I would have played the guitar better. If I would have been young, I would have spent more time playing. And I would be able to approach the music in a different sense, in a way I've always imagined to. But now, I just train to play using my ear.
Wow.
I know that you talked about wanting to be better at playing guitar, but that sounded great to me. You're killing it.
Yeah, I was going to say, for just ear training, I think that's fantastic.
But I think foreign languages, they say you can play multiple musical instruments when you're young, just much easier. It just comes to you.
I was doing piano lessons when I was younger, and I did them for a good amount of time, but then I stopped.
I thought the songs they were giving me were too baby because they were fundamentals. 4-year-old me did not understand that I wasn't going to be playing Mozart right away, I guess. And so I was like, I'm done, I quit.
Well, did you find an answer in the fray of skills that you really enjoyed?
I did. I found a very relatable answer from Crystal.
One thing I wish I would have learned when I was younger is about financial literacy. I wish that the school system actually did a better job at educating the youth on financial stability and the use of credit and how it could be beneficial towards you if you used it the correct way.
We had to take a financial literacy course, but it was an online summer course for one summer and then just never discussed again. Things can be a little bit more self-taught now, but I definitely wish I just knew some of the fundamentals, because they're like, don't ever get a credit card. I'm like, you, and then I realized you had to at some point. I was shocked.
2 of my family members went into finance. And so I'm like getting all of the information and like all the tasks I need to do from them. And in fact, like my sister has sort of taken on like the role of my financial advisor.
But everyone needs financial literacy. And I love that she recognizes the importance of that.
But fans, if you have a skill that you wish you had learned, make sure to record your answers using the links in the description, and make sure to record them before our Thursday Big Show Weekly Championship. Now it's time, I think, for us to get into our own skills. So Trish, what skill did you wish you learned when you were younger?
So I always did cheerleading and like competitive cheer when I was younger. So there was a lot of gymnastics that we were offered, a lot of courses and a lot of training and all that stuff. And it was still available to me even after I graduated. And they were like, come back and help the kids and get free lessons. And I was like, nah, I'm going to party with my friends in college. But I wish I had, because I feel like I would have more flexibility now. And I feel like I would have more core strength that I could have carried through into my older years.
And I think a lot of being younger is also like, you don't really have the fear necessarily. I couldn't do a flip in the air right now, but I think, you know, when you're a kid, you're just like, yeah, why not?
There's like a couple of kids in my high school who could do like flips standing up and like could do a split. And I was like, that just seems like such a cool party trick, but also just like flexibility is something that's just nice to be able to have.
Yeah, well, I will also then steal a little bit from your background image and say, I wish I learned how to surf, because that's also a great core strength activity too. And I mean, how cool would it be to just shred some waves?
And then, yeah, surfing, I took like 1 lesson and never again. So close. I could, it was right there in front of me. But I think the skill that I'm going to choose, and it's one that I'm currently trying to get better at, is like sewing. You know, I'm kind of like on a fashion journey where I'm like trying to make some clothes or like make some tops and stuff. So that would be useful too. I'm just thinking like, if I had learned a little bit earlier, where would I be now?
And alterations are expensive. I mean, how many times have you had to return something just because it's a little bit too long, or, you know, you wanted it like pinched in just a little bit more? And if you could do that yourself, that's an amazing skill.
That's a way to update your wardrobe too. Absolutely. Instead of going out and buying a new thing, just
Exactly.
do a little bit of this.
Record your answer using the links below, and be sure to subscribe, follow, or register so you can get our new questions and announcements right in your daily feed.
Yes, thank you everyone who's watched, voted, and recorded so far this week. Remember, the top voted answers make it into our Thursday Big Show.
And if you like QOTD, send us a little love by commenting, liking, subscribing, or clicking thanks. And if you do, we'll give you a shout out on the air. Thanks everybody for watching, and there's still time to let us know what's a skill you wish you learned when you were young.
Speaking of yesterday's question, I wish I'd learned how to tattoo as well.
Ooh.